Oh, yes, nice and warm. All right. Do we have the mic? There it is. Both sides today. Awesome. Questions for Emma? Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff Kasufi, ESPN. Emma, a few days ago you talked about the dangers of scoring early, maybe letting off the gas, being on the back foot. How do you feel like the team handled those exact circumstances today, and how rare is it to get a teaching opportunity, as you've talked about, with such a parallel from 3 days ago?
I mean, let's start with the fact that 10 players have 100 caps. Emily Sonnet has 111. So when you're looking at experience amongst 10 players, there's not a lot there. And I knew that there would come situations that show some of the dynamic qualities they have as less experienced players. I thought positionally, attacking-wise, we were much, much better in all phases of the field. I think it's a good lesson. The goal we conceded was an exact moment of not jumping out in the wrong moment. And didn't quite get a detail right. And as we keep telling the players, at the highest level, those details matter. So I have a coaching opportunity in and around the goal, but it's not the last. It's all of it leading up to that. But I thought we responded well from that. Kept playing, kept showing our principles. Showed the control element that I felt was lacking in the last game. And it was overall a much better performance.
Let's go there and then there.
Hi.
Yep.
Hi, Emma. Congratulations. We were perhaps shocked to see so many under 23 players, but at the same time, it was very exciting to watch them. Did they perform the way you expected from them? Because that's what you were telling us last time. And if didn't, what was missing? I know that you just touched upon a little bit, but midfield was amazing, for example, but was there anything?
No, they performed like I expect them to perform. I rate them highly. I think they are the present and the future for the program. But I also respect that it doesn't, there's not a straight line to it either. That's why for me the barometer was the Japan and the Brazil game. Because I wanted to see how much progress have we made from them for the less experienced players. And so I think that's 6 months on, that was a great step. Positionally, tactically, technically, physically, I thought that was a higher level than it was 6 months ago. So for me, that's a tick. But it's just that, you know, you can't cut a corner to success, and you can't cut a corner with development. I've said this many times, we've got really experienced players, 31, 30, 29, and then 22, 21, 19. Like, it's a big gap. So getting them up to those experiences combines, it has to combine a different set of experiences to do that. But I'm really, really pleased with the mentality, most importantly, of the group to recover, but also dominate the game in the way I expect and demand.
Go ahead and then Pudge.
John Lupo with Substack. Just two-part question. First of all, what was you touched on a little bit, but what was some of the adjustments you made from the game the other night? And also talk about Olivia Moultrie's performance, not just the 2 goals, but her overall game tonight.
I think what you have to learn is sometimes when you play teams that they know how to control games in the deepest spaces. They take all of their numbers low. Sometimes they do that so they get you to jump out in the wrong moment and open up spaces. So I think we did a better job of being compact, not chasing the ball in the wrong moments. That's probably the biggest thing without being too technical. The second was, if you want to control games and get players in the right positions higher up, then you have to build up very well, successfully. Build up, control in the right areas, make the opponent work. Something we didn't do the other night, but we did do it tonight. So I think we got those 2 pieces right. And I think they're probably the biggest differences. For Olivia Moultrie, I think she's having an outstanding season. I think she's a goal threat. I played her off of the right, but coming inside, I knew there would be second spaces inside the box. I think she exploited them well. I think both her and Jaden had very good games.
Just touching on that, the midfield picture, all that. Can you elaborate on Lily Johannes's performance today and just the progress you've seen her make over, the last 6 months, last year?
Yeah, I mean, she, like Claire Hutton, plays beyond her years. She has no fear to get on the ball with pressure, solve pressure. She can switch balls out. She can thread balls in behind. Still think there's a lot of work for her to do defensively for the team. At the highest level, you have to be really, really good. And she still has work to do in that area, as do all of them. But again, better progress. She's playing in a high-level training environment, one of the best environments in the world, and that's only going to help her. And I'm very, very happy she chose USA to play with, because she's going to be an important part of our team.
Sean, go ahead.
Sean Soccer, Long Island Magazine. What a difference a game makes. 10,000 more people, a win. Can you pinpoint one or two things that you feel were key in the turnaround for today's game?
Well, I've got a lot of experience of playing Champions League, where you play a team 1 week and you get the chance to play them again the other week. So actually getting that opportunity, I feel we're really well drilled as a coaching team to be able to make the adjustments. I always say when you're the losing team, sometimes it's a lot easier. When you win and you dominate the first game, then the opponent adapts to things, and sometimes it can be harder the second game. But I think we took the learnings. We had a lot of small group meetings. I really have to do a lot of work tactically with the team. They love it, the players, because they keep learning about all of the little details you need at the highest level. And I think the difference is the application of that learning.
Let's just go to the web real quick for Sylvia. Go ahead, Sylvia.
Thank you for your time and congrats on the victory. Again, I know you don't love to highlight visual performances, and obviously defense is a team effort. But Jordan Buck completed 68 of 69 passes today. Can you just speak a bit to her performance and her completing a 90-minute game?
Again, she's like 17 years of age, but she's so talented and she's there on merit. She's good enough to be there, and I trust her. Again, I think I urge caution, because the things you have to learn at the highest level, sometimes it just comes with time and years of doing it. So she's at the beginning of her journey at international level, and I still believe that it's going to be in Jordan Bugg's, even in Claire Hutton's best interests, that they're still playing youth tournaments. This is one of the things the top teams in the world do. If you're Spanish, you're German, you're English, you are playing in the under-17 World Cup, the under-20 World Cup. And this, for me, is like of prime importance, that our players are playing in youth national team tournaments if we are to stand any chance of competing. Because what I think everybody needs to understand is that in the rest of the world, over a full cycle, the number of games players are playing is equal to 1 season more than players in the US. And so I have to close the gap. This is why the youth national teams, our international calendar, is critical for the development of youth players in this country.
How many more do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it. Those are the last 4. We'll just go boom, 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 boom. Before you start, actually, I know Emma wanted to say something about the doubleheader.
First of all, I want to say congratulations to the deaf team for their first victory against Germany. It was awesome watching from the sideline. I thought it was going to jinx them when I came out, because the poor goalkeeper was getting peppered with shots. But it's been great to interact with the team the last couple of days, and I wish them the very best of luck and from everyone at US Soccer, because we know they're really talented, and we're looking forward to watching more.
Mel.
Melanie from The Athletic. After Thursday's game, you spoke about how you kind of sensed from training that there was a disconnect or there was something off with the team. So what were and what were some of the things that you were seeing or sensing?
You know, sometimes I think we always we amplify a loss into we catastrophize it, like externally as well as internally. Like, and I know you get paid to do those things, so I respect that. But sometimes it's just like, I don't know, how are you when you've had a month off over the Christmas break and you've gone back to work with your colleagues, and sometimes it just takes a little bit to get into that. I think we've never had a 113-day break between international games, and for us it just felt like we just couldn't get a rhythm going. So what I did is return the team to basics, and those basics look like small pictures, high volume repetitions, creating connections between them, so that we were coming out of the session with hundreds of passes between us. So we got used to the distances, we got used to the relationships, all of those really little things, and I think that's why the performance looked like that, because it just reminded us of our play again. Each player had to go from their club to like, oh, all right, these are our principles. This is, you know, it just took us a bit of time, but it's not a disaster.
Gabby Applebeer, the Nine Sports. How special was it that the United States got to recognize Alyssa Nair before today's game?
I mean, amazing. I've said this a few times this week. This is not a slight. I think Hope Solar was like an amazing goalkeeper. She really was. I think it's hard to sort of pick apart goalkeepers. You could say the same with O'Brien. But Alyssa is the one I got to coach, and I've seen firsthand her journey to get there, her determination to stay there, the longevity to keep doing it. To do that at the Olympics last summer was so impressive, and it's the way she carries herself. She's someone who the team just really, they idolised. I wouldn't even say respected, they idolise her. My younger players really, really did, and I think you see that with a number of players and staff that came out to support her tonight from Chicago and across her career. She's a hero in this part of the world, and I hear she's going to have a huge party now with 150 people, and I hope she has a fabulous evening because she deserves it.
Jeff, go ahead.
Emma, you talked about breaking down into small pictures. You talked about, I think you said 3 meetings yesterday. I don't know if they were divided. Just curious if you
Small
can give us some
groups.
detail of, is that as simple as forward, midfield, defense? Is it subgroups?
Never. I never do things in lines because it's about connections. So, you know, if it's that way, what about the players behind you, or what about the players to the left? I like to do it so it's always mixed, because you can have a perspective from either behind the play, to the left of the play, to the right of the play, or in front of the play. So it's always a mixture of groups. I send them clips in advance of the meeting the night before and ask them to review so that they're coming prepared. And then just discussing their observations, their feedback from it, and then work through some tactical solutions, knowing their starting point is that they've already worked through that. And many players come prepared, notepads, notes, questions, thoughts. This is a really, really highly intelligent group, and as I keep saying, I have to be at my best as a coach and as a staff, because the demand for knowledge is unbelievable.
Last one right here.
Yeah, Coach, I know Olivia was playing professionally, I think when she was 13 or 14, and I know you've had
Not
her...
true, but she
okay.
signed a professional contract.
Right, okay.
But she didn't start playing until a couple
so
years
she's
later.
15, right, yeah.
Yep.
So, but just, what have you learned about her since you've been coaching her, and what can you speak to the maturity and the poise that she has at her age?
I remember when I got the job, she sent me an email, literally immediately saying, Coach, if there's a chance I could connect and catch up and just get your thoughts on what you're looking for. And I thought, I know this is someone who's going somewhere and wants to go somewhere. And sometimes she wants it yesterday, but the things I've asked her to work on, she's working on them. I don't think she's the finished article, but I think she's much better than she was 12 months ago. Firstly, because she's fit and healthy. Second of all, because she's getting more disciplined in the position. And then finally, I think she's able to be a bigger goal threat as a result of those two things. Great development resilience-wise. Also, physically, she's still maturing You know, she's a young woman, and that growth maturation period doesn't end necessarily until 23. So these players are still going through it, but very proud of her tonight.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We got to catch a plane. Thanks, Emma.